I'm picking up some background noise. Is that a TV in the background?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn this TV off real quick.
Yeah, we need to turn. Yeah.
Hold on, let me do this real quick. You can hear it now, right?
Yep, it's clean, real clean.
Okay.
Everything's clean.
Here we go.
Just got to get on live and we're good.
A little late, but
it's all good.
Look, it's coming on. Yep, it's coming on. We're there. Can you hear what's going on?
I can hear you good, but I'm not live yet on my end, and I don't think we're live on it.
Okay, you're going live in a second here. All right.
Okay, I'm live on my end, Cedric.
Ready.
Okay, you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is Steve and Cedric talking to the band. I'm Steve. Hey. What's happening, Cedric?
What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? I'm Cedric Hansen. How y'all doing?
Man, we have an awesome guest with us today. So if you're listening, we apologize for being a little bit late getting on, but I need you to call somebody, tag somebody, and text somebody. Let them know that Steve and Cedric talking to the band is on live right now. Yeah. Call somebody, tag somebody, text somebody, let them know that we're on. If you have missed any of our previous episodes of the show, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Like the videos and hit the alert button down below so you'll be alerted when we upload new content. And we want to hear from you. Man, leave a comment for us. Let us know what you think about the show. And also, we're going to have some content on our YouTube channel that won't be on Facebook. Yeah. You'll get a chance to see some behind the scene footage, and it'll be, for sure make you laugh. So
yeah.
Make sure you tune in. Cedric, where else can they find us?
Hey, yeah, we're on Instagram and Twitter as Steve and Cedric talking to the band. That's Steve and Cedric talking to the #2 band. That's Steve and Cedric talking to the #2, the band. Check us out, y'all.
Yeah, man, it's been a crazy week, Cedric.
Man, ain't it? Wow, man. Oh, you know what? The whole White House, man, got the virus, man. The whole White House got coronavirus, man, including the president, man.
Yeah, for
wow.
Sure.
Wow,
crazy, man. It's crazy. Listen, wear your mask.
Man,
wear your mask.
Hey, I keep mine all the time, man. I keep mine all the time, man.
Oh, I like that, Cedric. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Hey, right, man.
I hear you.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you go to the grocery store or something and you can walk out and you forget your mask, man. You got to keep that mask on with you all the time, man.
Yeah, and social distance.
Yeah.
You know, this thing is real, y'all. It's real. It's absolutely real. So be safe, okay? Also, this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So, man, we really want to just send a shout out to all the women who are winning the battle against breast cancer. Special shout out to my first cousin, Shelly. Man, love you. Stay strong.
Yeah.
For you. Yeah, for sure. Cedric, man, let's get this show started.
Let's go, man. Let's go. We a little late. We're sorry, but you know, we got another big one. We got another big one.
Man, we have an awesome guest with us today.
Yeah.
This man is well accomplished. Dang. I mean, producer, writer.
Yeah.
Wow, he's wrote for Usher, Janet Jackson,
man,
Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yeah, New Edition.
The list goes on.
Johnny Gill. Yeah, Johnny Gill.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow, man.
I mean, if you are in the music business, you don't want to miss this show. Yeah. So we're not gonna just delay the time any longer.
Yeah.
Let's get this party started, Cedric.
Let's go.
Let's
go.
Let's bring them on. Let's bring them on right now. Tony, Prof T.
Yeah.
Tolbert, come on in, baby.
Prof T.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, Sid?
What up? What up? What up? What up?
I see you, baby. I see you. Hey,
Y'all know good.
Y'all
How's life? How's things?
man, we trying to stay safe. I'm telling you,
trying
bro.
to stay out the way. Yes,
Telling
we
you,
are.
man.
Man,
45 got it. We gotta all be protected.
you ain't lying. You ain't
got
lying.
Good
that
to see
right.
y'all, man. Good to see y'all, man.
Man,
Thanks for having
likewise.
me on, man.
Man,
Yes, sir.
Mr. I got it. You are Mr. I got a thing for you, baby. You are
Oh,
that
girl. Oh, that's right, baby. Keeping the
Man,
all alive, baby.
I know that's,
that's
right.
right.
I know that's right. Man, you know, we got a mutual friend, Erston Sanders. I just want to
Yes.
thank him for introducing us, man.
Yeah,
Erston,
man.
thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, brother.
man.
My brother,
Just
yeah.
salt of the earth, brother, man. Erston, man. Just salt of the earth.
Yeah.
We go way
Real
back.
cool, bro.
Even before
Yeah.
I got into this game for real. We go back.
Wow, man.
Wow.
Good brother,
Wow.
good brother.
That's crazy.
Man, we so appreciate him introducing us, man. We're so happy to have you on the show, man.
Yep. We're honored
So
to have
Man,
you,
my
man.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you for
My
accepting our
pleasure.
invitation, man.
Yeah.
So I want to get started, man. You know, tell us what's been happening, man. Like, what are you doing now? What are you working on? What new projects can we see that's going to be coming out soon? What's happening?
Well, you know, the thing is, I have been working on a few things. One thing is, well, it's been an ongoing LoKey project kind of brewing for a while now. We've hit a few stumbling blocks, but we keep getting closer. We keep chipping away. So I would say be tuned for that. I mean, coronavirus kind of stopped a lot of things, a lot of progress this year. So what it did is it gave us time to go back in and start doing some more writing. I'm also working on a project of my own.
Oh, wow.
It's with yeah, so it's with a partner of mine. He's my best friend. His name is Alex Richburg, and he was the founder of the Trackmasters back in Brooklyn back in the day. And dude, I mean, this cat basically was I guess the third man to even Big Jim's third or fourth man of Flight Time with all the major hits of Janet and Boys to Men and TLC, you name it, the list goes on, man. Alex Richburg, amazing cat, amazing producer. So what we did is we had all these songs we'd written together over the years, and we said, man, instead of just letting them sit around on a hard drive, why don't we just put together a project that'll introduce me even more so as a producer and showcase the songs. I'm singing on all the records, but it's not about me as an artist. It's all about the songs, me as a songwriter, and then, you know, who knows, it can promote me in the other ways as well. So in the other industries as well, because television and film is the other thing that I'm really looking to get more heavily involved into as well.
Oh, wow.
So,
Nice.
so yeah, man. So those things are cool. I mean, just recently, me and a cat from Kansas City, Kansas, this brother named Anthony Saunders, who's an amazing cat. He's worked on Justin Bieber and Boys to Men and Janet Jackson. He and I worked on some Janet stuff. It didn't come out, but it was a crazy experience. That's a whole other thing. But he and I just worked on a project with Najee. We did a couple of songs with Najee in the past, but this one had Kenny Lattimore featured on it. It was
wow, man.
Yeah, man. Kenny killed it too, man. Kenny
I
killed
love that new
Anthony,
tune he got out with Bodie James there, man. Wow. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, man. Right. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So that was cool, man. That got nominated for the NAACP Image Award. So yeah, man, I'm done quite a few of the Will Downing albums. A lot of people don't know, like a lot of the last few Will Downing records I've produced on. So yeah, man, just kind of staying busy in the game best I can, man. You know.
That's what's up. Is there something with Johnny? There's something with Johnny Gill? You said is that?
Oh, right, man. It's crazy. So his latest album that had what was it, Soul of a Woman?
Yeah.
And, which was amazing. And then the joint with Ralph Tresvant, Perfect or what have you. I did a record on there with Alex Richburg, by the way, and Jam and Lewis called So Hard. And it was funny because it was an old joint that we did back in the day that he loved. So that was cool. We got together and finished that up and it made the record.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
What's up? That's what's
Wow,
up, man.
man.
Sounds
Doing it here and
exciting. I
there,
can't
baby.
wait. Yeah, I can't wait, man. I gotta check this stuff out, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you just it's an interesting game nowadays, brother.
Yeah,
So
but
the
you're staying
waters are
busy though.
different.
Yeah.
The waters are different, yeah, but I'm staying creative, and that's the main thing, man. That's
Right.
really what it boils down to. Is staying creative.
Cool.
Cool. I want to take you back a little bit, man.
Okay.
When you were with LoKey and going into Minneapolis, and signing, that first deal. Talk to us a little bit about that experience and what that was like.
Yes, sir.
Well, let me see. So I don't know. I guess everybody knows that. Nah, I don't know if everybody knows. I'm from Kansas City, home of the Kansas City Chiefs, world champion. Chiefs. Mahomes, baby, all day. Anyway,
I hear you.
So
I see it.
So, like Sid and I was talking about bands, man. I started off in a band in Kansas City. I was introduced to it through Darren Story, who later on was in LoKey with me. And the leader of the group was TJ Taylor. Now, he is the son of legendary blues singer Johnny Taylor.
Oh, my God. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
TJ got a big name for himself out on the Southern Soul circuit.
Yeah.
Shout out to TJ Taylor. Taylor Eyes, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He's a cat. So he really showed me like performance. He taught me performance. I was still in high school and these cats brought me in. And then eventually, man, we moved to Minneapolis, me and Darren, and then we met up with Grand Jury, who Grand Jury Band was the original band in Kansas City that we became a part of. Sorry about my dog.
No problem, man. It's all good.
But I hope somebody get the dog. He'll come back. But no, good. Man. So we moved to Minneapolis, and then Lance Alexander and T-Bone, Tyrone Yarbrough were in the group too, who eventually became LoKey. We were up there, the band, we did about a year, hit it hard, then we broke up. Me and Lance formed a relationship as songwriters. Then we had to go back to Kansas City because the rent was kind of rough doing the thing. Anyway, so we went to the Black Minnesota Music Awards that was produced by Pete and Kim Rhodes.
Yeah.
And it was a panel with Jimmy Jam, me and Lance in the audience. Lance stood up and said, Jimmy Jam, where do we send a demo? And how do we get one of them flight time jackets? Everybody went, ooh. We went home, we sent a demo. Within a month, we were sitting in Terry Lewis's desk going over the contract to be songwriters and producers for Flight Time Productions.
Wow. That is absolutely crazy, man.
Yeah, man. Wow. About a 3.5 year period. From me moving to Minneapolis to getting the deal.
Wow.
Yeah. Had they ever heard your band before, or had they ever heard you before?
They did hear about us because we played at it was interesting because at the time we had a manager named DJ Cowboy. At the same time, he was managing Mint Condition. Now, this is when we were a Grand Jury Band. We were in Minneapolis. So us and Mint Condition shared a rehearsal space and the manager Cowboy. So Cowboy got us gigs at First Avenue. So we did a gig at First Avenue as Grand Jury back. We opened up for Midnight Star.
Oh, wow.
So the name was kind of getting around. They were calling us Baby Earth, Wind, and Fire because we had like 13 people in the band at the time. The Minneapolis thing was the front man in the car.
Yeah.
That kind of, we had a front line. We was Cameo up there,
Yeah.
So yeah, man, we started getting a name for ourselves, but it was really when we sent in the demo. Interesting point, Jesse Powell was on that demo that we sent. We knew him in Kansas City. He was living there, and we started working together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, shout out to Jesse Powell. I don't know what Jesse is, man, but Jesse is one coldest
singer, man. Yeah, wow.
And Jesse's he's from Indiana. That's right.
Okay, yeah.
I thought he was from. No, I know he's not from y'all area.
He had that one song, that one hit. I don't know if it was a marginal hit there.
He had a few. He had You.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
And he did the remake of da, 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 something in the past by
Oh,
Okay. Yep. Yep.
oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah,
It was
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was dope, man. So he was on the demo, as well as Andre Shepard, who we met through a cat named Wendell Brown. He's a singer, and he's from St. Louis, because Andre was in Minneapolis auditioning for a group called The Crash that was Jesse Johnson's band, and the audition didn't go well. So Wendell said, hey man, I got two cats, Lance and Prof, they working on some stuff, you want to hook up with them? And then we started working together. Eventually he was on the demo too, that got us signed with Flight Time. So of course he was the first cat we thought of when we put together LoKey.
Wow.
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 Wow. You know, I was
That's
back
something.
there, you know, in the early, late 80s, well, actually the early 90s is when I came to, where our band came to Minnesota. And
Right.
we seen you guys, you and Lance on the panel, and you told
Right.
that
Oh,
story. And I'm like, yeah,
yeah.
right. They didn't get signed like that. Yeah, but you know, then
Yeah.
I see you guys in a sound check along with Mint Condition. And I guess my question is how much did that Minneapolis sound actually influence you? Uh, you know, and how did that actually that expo help your career?
Oh, it's funny because I don't know, like I said, when we got there as a band, everybody looked at us like I said, Earth, Wind and Fire and Cameo. So we still had a more of a traditional Midwestern funk. Now, Minneapolis funk was a new funk at the time. And I think the only people that really influenced, and I would say me and Lance, would be Jam and Lewis. Their sort of Minneapolis approach to R&B music. Because we weren't, I mean, of course we was influenced by all the good God, all that.
Yeah, James.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we had a little bit of that in us because of the times, but it really wasn't like, I don't think it, you know, it really stuck. But I give Prince a lot of props, man, because when Prince sound came out, particularly after 1999, it's like every group in the world got curls and started playing
Yeah.
synthesizers,
Oh my God. Yeah.
wore lace.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was one of them. I was one of
Steve,
them guys.
yeah,
Right.
we were.
I was
Yep.
one of them dudes,
Sounds
bro.
100. Yeah, that's right. Yep. Yep.
Me too. I had a curl. I had a curl.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
So yeah. So I mean, I can't say that the traditional Minneapolis sound influenced us, but certainly Jam and Lewis did. We studied all their work like heavily. So it was certainly mind blowing to get a call from them to be put on there to work for them, man. So that was a blessing and a joy, and crazy that we got to experience. Me and Lance, that was great, man.
Wow. You know, speaking of bands, that's from my heart. You know, you guys came in, like I say, the early 90s is when, you know, New Edition and all the boy bands are coming in. And you guys were a band. I mean, Earth, Wind, and Fire, you know, how did you survive that? You know?
It was funny. I think the first time we got introduced to the world as LoKey was at this, they used a music conference called Jack the Rapper. I know y'all remember.
Yeah, Atlanta, yeah.
This had to be like one of the last Jack the Rappers. And, you know, and the whole perspective thing, we had Mint Condition as a band, and they had Sounds of Blackness, it was just a choir and stuff. So Jam and Lewis was trying to do something, offer something different. So when we performed there, we blew everybody's mind because we had a full-on band, not only with.
Wow.
So this is in the middle of New Jack in the whole nine.
Yeah.
I mean, the 90s was popping.
Yeah,
you know,
Jodeci and all of them, yeah.
All that was, you know, it was really, so here we are. Everybody's like scratching their head like, well, I like it. Wow, that's a throwback. So it was interesting. And I mean, it certainly gave us sort of an angle against all the other groups at the time, because you got to think, we had when we were hot, it was Shy, Silk, All For One,
Yeah, yeah,
UNV. Man, I know I'm forgetting groups from that era. Oh, Rude Boys,
yeah,
Levert,
yeah,
really
yeah. Levert,
still,
yeah.
at least Girl. It was all these groups, these guy groups, 4 or 5 man groups. And even though we fit in that, we made sure that the instrumentation was prevalent, and Lance was always behind keys, and T-Bone was always on his bass. And sometimes Darren D would have his trumpet, so we were always trying to push that thing, but still, bring a little more of the modern thing with hip hop. I rap. I was telling y'all earlier, I'm not a rapper. It's not what I do. I'm not a rapper. I'm a guy. I'm a musician and a singer who likes rap music and wanted to do rap. So I put that in the record.
Studio
I'm a
rapper,
studio
yeah.
rapper, as Steven said. There you go. So, I just want to get that out there. So, yeah, man. So we just wanted to bring together all these sounds and influences. So our first album, actually, LoKey Where They At, was an experiment. We would kind of figure it out. And we thought that Thing for You kind of was the template of where we needed to go. And but the album was really a mixed posh of all kind of different influences at the time. So
Wow.
So it was fun, man, that Jam and Lewis gave us that artistic freedom. And I think that was the whole purpose and perspective in the first place, was to have artistic freedom and to give like a sort of a different angle of Black music with gospel.
Yeah.
And then the condition being amazingly accomplished musicians.
Wow.
And Stokely, an amazing performer and singer himself and musician.
So
then us, the fun funk thing.
So were you guys like rivals?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Were you guys Mint Condition and LoKey? Were you guys like rivals bands, or did you guys play on a lot of gigs together, or how did that go? That's like, wow.
Yeah, we were, but I mean, we were homies. It was silent because we went back so far, But we never really There was a few times where we could see it come out, like certain shows where they would get that, they get us, they get that ass.
Yeah.
And we come backstage and see them and we just dap them up like, wow, And then a couple of times, I will say quite a few times, they would be backstage when we came off saying, all right, y'all, But it was certainly friendly in that respect, because it was clear they had the musicianship in the class of that down. I mean, they were amazing. And we were kind of like the funk alternative, more sort of loose and fun and funky kind of approach to it. But it was fun, man. We would go back and forth.
I understand you guys were the first band on Perspective label to have a #1 hit, right? You guys were the first band?
Yeah.
Or the first artist, actually. The first artist with a #1 hit. Wow, man.
Man.
That was an accomplishment, man. That's crazy, man. That's cool.
Thank you, sir.
That's cool.
Thank you, sir. It was. It's quite an honor. It was quite an honor. I remember that week they were really fighting for us because Tony Braxton was on our heels. And if you know, let me see. Right. Love Should Have Brought You Home.
Yeah.
Was the record that was blowing up.
Yeah.
And it was literally a toss-up. So I can't remember. D is good at this, man. D from LoKey, he's good at knowing the person who made the call and did all the stuff. But we got in 1 week. We got in. But it was beautiful, man. We caught a wave, man. We really caught a wave and people got it. And I'm just glad that we got a classic. Me and Lance can say we wrote a soul classic. And that's an honor and a half.
That's a good song. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Wow. I have to ask you about, putting on your executive hat. You spent time as an A&R director and stuff like that for a major label. I read somewhere where Charlie Wilson and I think it's Anthony Hamilton and Lettucey are all going to, they're dropping, or they're getting dropped from the major labels, and they're doing it themselves. What is your views on that? You know, they more and more major artists are moving to independent, doing things themselves.
Yeah, well, it's funny. My first thought is, man, I wish they'd have done that sooner. Particularly when they would have caught, I think maybe even more the height of the wave of their own successes. Now I think they're established groups, so they're by no means out of the race. I'm not saying that. I just wish they could have capitalized sooner. But now as everybody getting older, R&B music is in an interesting space right now. I wish them well. I think it's a great idea. Why not get as much control over it as possible?
Yeah.
To just ensure more longevity for themselves. I totally get it. But that machine is something else, man. It's so ingrained in the way all this stuff works. And it's a lot of noise out there. I mean, we're constantly bombarded with advertising and music, new artists, just constantly. And the one benefit about being on a major label is that you can get in that noise. You can kind of weave through. The struggle as an independent is trying to compete with the marketing dollars that is the industry is fed. It's a, what do you call it? It's one of those things where it's a messed up truth of sorts. I mean, it sucks, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Wow.
So yeah, so I wish them well. I love the entrepreneurship spirit. I think it's amazing, and I certainly hope it's supported. I'm down. I certainly am on board. But they got some waters to surf, because it's it's really competitive. It really is.
Wow.
Sorry, I don't want to keep it real. Remember we saying I didn't want to sound like
hey, that's
man,
what we want, though.
That's what we want.
That's what we
Keep
want.
it real. Yeah.
Keep it real.
Right.
Yeah.
On.
What? Go ahead, Cedric.
My next question, Big Jim Wright, he was one of our first keyboard in our band. We've been around for a long time, and he played with you guys, and you guys are, really good friends. Tell me about your experiences with Big Jim.
Well, man, R.I.P. James Wright. I've shared a lot of experiences with James, man. We go so far back, man. But I think when I think about him, the first thing comes to mind, I get sad about just what we've missed out on, all the music that he was about to share with us. He was, and I'm like you covered with Ann, is like he was working on their album when he passed, and he was like going crazy all day and night. He was really on a mission with something to prove, but I mean, there's a cat from Rockford who ended up working with Sounds of Blackness, then started writing for Gladys, Patty, Shantae Moore, Lou Cantrell, Deborah Cox, Janet Jackson, Aretha Franklin, Usher, Boyz II Men, Kelly Price. And not only wrote and produced for Mariah Carey, he was her musical director for about 5-6 years. Or more than that, actually. So, I mean, aside from the fact that he was just musically gifted, unlike a lot of people know, and he's really unsung. He's a true unsung musical hero. He was just a beautiful spirit, too. And I miss him. I miss him a lot. I got a picture of him right here. I keep it right in front of me because he was really amazing, and I just feel bad for that story. The world really missed out because that dude.
Man, I know. Wow. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
He was gifted. He was beyond gifted.
For sure.
I mean, you think about I Get So Lonely.
Yeah, right.
That was a bit. James.
I get so lonely that what is it? You are the one that lives. I can see his little face, right? You are the one that lives. And then, and Tanisha mentioned that that we Tanitra, I'm sorry, Michelle Williams.
It's all good.
Mentioned that, you know, that we were working with her when she got the call to go to Destiny's Child. So yeah, man,
Yeah.
James has been part of my most of my you know, musical journey. Most of it, he was involved.
Crazy, man. Wow.
We did a lot of
Take us
stuff.
a little deeper into the business, Prof. You know, things that young producers starting out need to know, you know, about the business, man. Talk a little bit about that. What do they really need to know, and how to really, you know, break in and really make an impact? Talk a little bit about that.
Woo. Yeah, man, it's come a long way from when I got in it, man. So, you know, it's hard because I don't want to paint a rose. I can't paint a rose-colored glasses version of what happened, unfortunately, because, you know, I came up in the 90s with it was like the Black music renaissance. You know, Diddy. Everybody had a deal in the 90s. Everybody. That it kind of introduced, and I'm sorry, a ghetto element to like the business side of it. And it just kind of muddied the waters a little bit. It almost became like it wasn't even special anymore to say you was a songwriter and producer, because everybody was a songwriter and producer. Everybody had a studio in their house, or they working at, or they was at the studio. Remember that?
Like now,
I'm at the studio. I'm at the studio.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, I don't know, it just ruined it on some level. And then the 2000s came around, and then technology came in, and then Napster and music streaming and downloading took over. And then the record companies that thought they wasn't invulnerable ignored all that stuff, and then found out that it was a mistake. Meanwhile, nobody's selling records no more. You can just get records off of YouTube and Napster and what have you.
Yeah,
you're right.
And, you know, so it just became kind of a mess. And then again, the technology made it affordable for everybody to set up their own studio. So instead of now thousands of people trying to get in the industry, it's hundreds of thousands of people. And it's interesting, man, because it really sort of we're because the record said, without buying music, if you're not buying music, you're really not supporting the music industry. It's you really aren't.
Wow.
If so, to complain that it is what it is, you know, be all mad. My generation, our generation, man, it ain't what it used to be. It's like, but you don't buy records. So, so I'm sorry, Sid, I got way off of what.
No, man.
What your question is, but the problem is that music is disposable. It is used to market products now, and the connection to the soul is sort of missing.
It's not there.
Right. So what these kids pursue as a musical career is very different than what I pursued. I did it because of passion for the music, because I wanted to express myself. They're doing it for other, probably more monetary gains, like success and fame and money.
Yeah.
And we wanted a part of that too, but it wasn't our sole motivation.
Yeah.
So my advice to kids is, I don't know. I don't know. Because if you're not doing it for the same reason I want to do it, then, and you want to do it just to be famous, then I don't know what to tell you. Good luck. But if you're doing it for the reasons I wanted to do it, then I would certainly say, be careful, because the music, that passion of the music is missing, and people are not focused on that as much as something to make them feel good. So do if you're going to be committed to it, understand that that's what you're up against. And then also realize if you are really talented enough. I will say this, I think a lot of the kids today live in this sort of fantasy that they're greater than they really are. I've heard a lot of young cats tell me that, you know, I don't really listen to nobody else because I'm just as, you know, me, I'm trying to get me and me. I'm like, huh? Everybody was influenced. Michael Jackson and Prince was influenced. They'll tell you their influences.
Yeah.
You can't be, you aren't the greatest, the center of the world. Well, what I see for myself and what it's like everybody, I know social media has a lot to do with that. Everybody's special and everybody's wonderful and cute and all that. So I get, they got to get out of themselves.
Yeah, that's real talk. That's real talk.
That's probably my biggest, you know, suggestion is to like, you are not the center of the world.
Yeah, good.
It is about the music. It's always about, if you want to do this for real, it really is about the music.
Yeah.
If you want to be rich and famous, oh, okay, well, do you?
Yeah.
I don't have nothing to say about that.
Wow.
If you real, it's a whole other journey, man. So I'm sorry, I did ramble.
Oh man, that's real talk, man. That is so cool. That is good. That's what we need to hear, man.
It sucks, but I don't blame these kids. And that's the other thing that we got to stop doing. We got to stop blaming them. I can't blame them for the world they grew up in. You know, I get why 90s, this generation loves the 90s culture and music so much. I get it because it was the last generation of music that still had an emotional connection. Yeah, it was party, but there was still something there. I mean, you can clown, and people have, Mary J. for some of her vocals, but you still felt it. It was real.
Yeah.
You'd be hard pressed to find young Black kids from the suburban areas that sing like Bobby Womack and Al Green and you know, and Donny Hathaway. You know, we're probably not going to have that again. I don't know. But here's an interesting thing. We got Adele, Sam Smith.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. I was saying that. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they got some soul. I'm like,
right, they got soul. And what happened to ours? Yeah.
And that's and it sells. It sells like crazy.
Yeah, so
it does. It's a need for it, but man, I don't know. I mean, we could say the obvious, but I don't know. Maybe because it's kind of unique that you got white faces with all this soul coming out of it. Maybe it's a novelty in some way. I don't know. But Adele can sing. Ed Sheeran's dope. They dope. But you know, it's a layered issue, as all issues are. It's just a lot of angles. But you know, I'm blessed to be in it, or to have been in it the way I was in it at the time I was in it, when it was still kind of special.
Yeah.
Now it's 360 deals. The label owns you completely. Everything you do, anything you do, they own it.
Good grief, man.
But now they're making more money than ever because the streaming, they make money off of the old catalogs and the new stuff. And by the way, streaming only pays a tenth of a penny per stream.
So these artists out there is not making too much money. They're not making a lot of money then.
No, that's why everybody's in industry now. You got to have multiple things you got to be involved in. You got to market something. You got to produce something. You got to have other artists. You got to do all this. So when do you become a real artist? When do you focus on all the music? How do you do that? If you juggling all this other stuff to stay profitable.
Yeah.
How you do?
Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot. What are some of your experiences, man? Like, I mean, you've worked with some of the greats in the business.
Yeah.
Talk about those experiences that you had, man. Like, take us inside the studio. What was it like sitting, you know, across from
Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
You know, Janet Jackson.
Oh my God, man.
What was that like for you? Like, talk a little bit about that.
Janet is weird, you know, because not she's weird, but that was weird because I'm sort of an awkward Black dude. I'll be honest. I'm a nerd. I'm a cool nerd, but
Me too.
right, yo. I'm owning my nerding, yo. But you know, I mean, this is Michael Jackson's little sister, yo, and she's right there, and she likes what I'm doing, and she's saying Prof.
Wow.
That's crazy in itself, man.
I don't. Yeah.
Enough said. Enough said.
Right, man.
That's the song we did. That's All Night Don't. I wrote that, All Night Don't Stop.
Wow.
It was her single, her third single off the Demita Joe record. So yeah, man, she's sweet as pie, just as you thought. I mean, just a sweet spirit. Gets on behind the mic and becomes something else. So she's amazing. That was crazy. And that's the kind of stuff that I just, you know, I owe Jam and Lewis a lot for just allowing me to have those memories and experiences.
Man.
But Earth, Wind, and Fire was crazy. Of course, I'm sitting there looking at Maurice White like, I'm not worthy.
That's the top of my pyramid right there, man. I'm done, man. If I always said, man, if I could ever talk to him, man, I'm done. That's it, man.
I should have just left the studio, went on the top floor and just jumped. What else was there to do after that? What is it? So yeah, man, I wrote 2 songs for them. It was on the Robots soundtrack and their album Illumination. And that was amazing. You know, Philip Bailey, you know, I sung the demos. So I'm going over the song with Philip Bailey and he's singing it and I'm just looking at him sing my words and I'm freaking out and trying to be cool.
Wow.
And here comes, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. That's so sad. Verdine walks in. And,
oh yeah.
Hey brother, hey brother, all right. It's just, yeah, man. They have meant so much to me. They are my Cameo is my favorite group of all time.
Oh, I can hear Larry Blackman all in you. Yeah, I can hear that Larry Blackman.
So Cameo is my favorite, but Earth, Wind, and Fire is number 2. And that's only because Cameo just holds a more personal connection. I'm all in on EWF. But yeah, man, that was huge, man. Working with them was amazing. And Johnny, man, Johnny Gill, the first record I ever was featured on, I sung background on Rub You the Right Way.
Wow.
And it was crazy because we'd only been at Flight Time for about 2 weeks. So, and he was working. The first dude we saw was Heavy D. When we walked into Flight Time, we saw Heavy D. It was like, oh, snap.
Damn.
Yeah. Me and Lance looking at each other like, can you believe this?
Wow.
So, and we did a song on his album, but it didn't make it. But then we immediately got a song on Alexander O'Neal's All True Man album. So while we were in the studio, we started tinkering around. We wrote another song, and then bam, we got 2 songs on Alex's All True Man album. And then they flew in Shanice Wilson. So we got to work with her we did tons of songs.
I Like Your Smile, Shanice?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
It was actually that album? Now, the weird thing was they were in a transition. She was getting ready to go to Motown. Something was happening, and none of the records we did made her album. But when the deal got, after that record, she fell in love with one song in particular called I Wish I'd Never Met You. And then we ended up doing that on her second Motown album. That really didn't, I don't know if there was really a hit on that one. But that one was actually a single. They actually released that one as a single. And then we did a remix on Jane Child. We started working on Karen White's album. Then LoKey came calling when Jam and Lewis formed Perspective Records.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
What about Next? I mean, you did some stuff with Next too, right?
Butterlove.
Yeah.
Next?
Yeah, man. Shout out to RL, Tweet, Tilo, them my brothers, man. We were at a Juneteenth, me and Lance hanging out at Juneteenth, and we saw these these cats jumping around on stage. We're like, these cats, they just going for it. Like, you know, like a young Jodeci.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we started hollering at them. Turns out pretty talented. So we would sneak them into Flight Time Productions like at 2 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
Now, RL was still in high school. So he was sneaking out the house to come to the studio to record the demo. And then, interestingly enough, they had the demo on them when they were at a concert with Naughty by Nature, and they were backstage, and they ran into KG from Naughty by Nature, and they handed him the tape. Well, it just so happens he was starting his own label on Arista called Divine Mill. He wanted them. He came and sat down, talked to me and Lance and the group, said, look, let's do a deal. We did Butter Love. Rest is history.
Wow.
So, yeah, man.
Yeah. That's some good stuff.
That was cool.
Wow.
That was cool
Yeah.
because that was the first thing we did outside of Flight Time.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like, we were going through a transition, you know, even Lance and I were going through a transition around that time. So that was really huge for us because we were like, yeah, you know, we kind of proven ourselves that, you know, it wasn't just about us being underneath the great legends of Jam and Lewis.
Yeah.
That we really could do something, you know, outside of that. So
You're branching out on your own.
Right. It meant a lot.
Branching out.
It did mean a lot.
Wow.
Wow. So did you guys have all these songs written, or did you write them as, you know, custom made for the artist? Did you already have these songs written?
Now I will say with our demo, with the demo that Lance and I sent to Flight Time, there were several songs on there that ended up on albums. I will say that. But after that, we would just work together with the artists. I think one artist in particular that's interesting is Smooth. Y'all remember Smooth, the rapper?
Yeah,
I do.
Yep.
I do.
Okay, so Lance did a track and we got a song on it. It was called Strawberries. It was her first single. Well, second single, I think, on that album. And that was a time where, you know, we were really impressed with how amazing an artist is and how they can come in and make a record just open up. Am I getting off your question?
No. You're there.
No. You're good. You're good. You're good.
You're asking me about what about that?
Just about. Did you have these songs written? Did you have did you particularly custom make them for the artist? You know, did you work with the artist, or did you already have a bunch of songs already in mind?
Right. No, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. But an artist like Smoothing is an example of tailor making. And that's what we did. We tailor made the records. We did a song on Alexander O'Neal that was a single called Aphrodisia. And the reason it came together is because we always thought, me and Lance, that Alex had sort of a Marvin Gaye kind of thing. It wasn't completely Marvin, but it was that smooth, silky soul.
Yeah.
And that I thought he could pull off like a Marvin type sounding record. And I mean, it was a single. I don't know if anybody knows it, but yeah, if you check that record, Aphrodisia, that is an example of, again, just tailor making records for the specific artist. We really wanted to do that. And Next, I mean, their first album was called Rated Next because it was Rated X.
I remember that. Yeah.
So we were going for the Jodeci thing, the whole, you know, that crowd. That was intentional.
Wow. The whole sex you up type of vibe.
That was what it was, baby. Sad.
Yeah, I remember. Hey, those are good years, man.
They were.
Good years, man.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
A lot of fun was had.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, working with these artists, talk to us a little bit about, you know, how do you correct, you know, when they're flat? You work with some of these major
like
artists,
Bailey, man.
Yeah, I mean, you say, hey, man, hey, you're flat.
Right.
You know, you're sharp there. I mean,
yeah,
how was that for you,
question,
man?
Yeah.
Being new, being young at that time in the business, you know, you got to say, hey, man, you know what? That ain't sounding good.
Yeah, that's why Mr. Terry Lewis said, you know, you have to be not only a producer, but a psychiatrist or a psychologist, because you are dealing with very sensitive egos.
Yes, yeah.
And you do have to maneuver in those waters. So it is a lot of encouraging, you know, and just saying, hey, man, hey, that was great. Let's get it again. You know, I just hear a little something. I think there's something else here. And then you just kind of say, well, what do you feel? You know, it is a lot about a back and forth. So they don't feel like they're being dictated to. And that way they don't get an attitude and then you don't get the performance you want.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, I learned that lesson early. We were working on Alexander O'Neill and I'm in there and I could just feel the vibe like, you know, I'm who this young dude.
Yeah.
And I'm standing behind Terry Lewis as I think you should do that. And he was like, you know, excuse me. I just listen to Terry.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh.
Wow.
Like,
Ouch.
but it made sense. My little feelings was hurt at the time, but you know, afterwards I got it, you know. And when I listen to the record, I hear it. I hear what Terry was able to do, and I learned. So it was like, okay, bet. Teaching moment.
Yeah.
Wow.
We all gotta do
Yeah,
have teaching moments.
for sure.
Don't let our ego get in the way, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah.
Grief.
Those good times.
So go ahead, Cedric.
You know,
What are you?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Steve.
We got a little delay. Okay. What I was going to say is that, you know, talk about the music business now. I mean, how it's changed and shifted. What are your feelings toward the music business today?
Well, yeah, it's like it's changed quite a bit. That it has. And you know, God bless those that are able to really make some noise and stay at it and stay you know, productive in the game. I wish there were more. I will say this, I am concerned because we've had Beyonce almost 20 years now, at least I think 15. We've had Drake and we've had Jay and we've had Bruno Mars and Alicia Keys and Rihanna for a long time. Like these have been our top stars for a long time. And I mean, there's a few that are kind of hot, but I'm just wondering, like, what's the next crop? Like, when is that going to be?
Yeah. What does it look like? Yeah.
What does it look like? Because we haven't had like new superstars in a while.
Right.
Like we've had kind of moments. I'm trying to think of somebody, but who would you consider the hottest artist today?
That's a good question. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it exists. I just can't think of who it is. And is it somebody that's, is it Cardi B? I mean, that's deep if it is.
Yeah. That's real deep. Yeah.
I mean, that's a certain genre, but she is a pop star.
Yeah.
So I am concerned about the future Prince's, Michael Jackson's, Janet's. I mean, let alone concerned about the R&B music. I honestly don't know what's going to happen as our generation keeps getting older, and we don't buy records. I just don't know how that will survive. I'm not giving up on it, and we shouldn't. We should certainly keep supporting those artists. I mean, we got to. It's important. It really is. But I am concerned. I don't know where it's headed.
So you don't think we'll see bands ever again then? Do you think we'll see bands? I mean,
even it's like, no, I was going to say something about BTS, that K-pop group that has like 7 guys in the group.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to be if it's manufactured like that, maybe. But that's the only way, because you got too many people with different personalities and egos and desires and wants. and the work as a unit is not the same as it used to be. We just were more communal back in the 70s and 80s, and that thing is not the same. It's much harder for bands to survive, and the money, distributing the money between all those different personalities. And it's not just Black bands, it's white bands. It's just, it's difficult, you know, touring, all that stuff with all those different people, depending on everybody to be on the same page all the time for many albums, and nobody's really buying records. It's just one of those things. So again, the music nowadays is made to sell product. Sorry, that's what it's for.
Yeah,
That's all it is for. You can find gems within it. You can find good artists within it. I like Snow Allegra. Think she's dope. She reminds me of Sade. Now, she's not Sade, but she reminds me of that just quintessential soul with a vibe, with a jazzy sort of soulful thing. Like, that gives me hope. What's my man, Anderson .Paak?
Anderson
.Paak.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Man.
That's my dude. Anderson .Paak is my dude, yo. He gives me hope. Oh God.
Yeah.
He really gives me hope. And then it's a few young cats. Her, Daniel Caesar's really talented.
Yeah, he is.
But again, it's like, will they be household names? Will they be the next Al Greens and Gladys Knights? I don't know. You know, shelf life is kind of short too.
Yeah.
We have a short attention span. We on to the next thing. What's hot?
Yeah, sure
you
do.
hot? Yeah, you. Oh no, you hot? Yeah.
Right. That's real talk.
Oh, you hot? Yeah. So
that's real talk. Yeah.
It's interesting. We got a lot going on right now.
Wow.
Yeah. 2020 alone is
crazy.
You know, speaking of that, you know, I always believe a good song is a good song, whether it's
indeed,
you know, 60s, whether it's now. What do you look for in a good song?
Nah, that's a good question. Well, let's say, okay, so a good song is just one that sticks to the bones, I think, that has a that connects people to a certain memory in their lives, that they connect to certain times in their lives, be it weddings or something like that. And then a great song is even more amazing because it lasts, of course, generations. It's used, it's known no matter what age you are. Everybody knows respect.
Yeah, Frankie Beverly is one. Yeah.
Frankie Beverly has just those amazing classics.
Yeah.
It's interesting, only recently, and this is going into some nerd stuff, but only recently have they started looking at paying an artist like, okay, so for example, Respect was written. Do you know who wrote Respect?
What is what's that guy's name? I just seen that guy too. Neil Young. Is it Neil Young?
Otis Redding.
Otis Redding. Oh, okay. All right.
Right.
All right.
So Otis Redding did that and put it out, right? It did okay. It did pretty good. But when Aretha did it, it became
big.
A monster.
Classic.
It's a monster hit. Yeah.
So my thinking was, now that that's a classic, shouldn't the person that sung it get royalties, even if you didn't write it? The reason why is because that magic that made it a smash, particularly when it becomes a classic like that and it's redone and used in every movie, everything forever and ever and ever, that means the special magic that artist added to it made it a classic. So at that point, I think even if you didn't write a record and it becomes the next Heard It Through the Grapevine, why shouldn't you get royalties at some point? And they're finally looking into that.
Wow.
They're finally making that a thing.
Really?
So,
they're finally trying to. You know, it's on the government floor. Government and music has always been rough, man, because the government thinks musicians are rich a-holes, flaunting money and screwing out all the girls.
Yeah.
So they don't think that there are things in Congress that need to be passed and make sure that artists and musicians are protected and taken care of.
Yeah.
For example, why are we getting 1/10 of a penny for every stream? You
Good
know, if I
grief.
wrote a song with 5 dudes, that's 1/10 of a penny I got to split with 5 dudes.
Wow.
So,
Man,
it
y'all
don't
better
make
hear
sense.
this. Y'all better hear. I don't know who's listening, but y'all better hear this, man.
They're right.
Yes.
Good grief. Y'all better hear
That's the
this.
Good
stuff
information.
that's
Yeah.
what we up against,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know? And the labels are making more money than they did back in the 90s. It's crazy because they don't have
Wow.
to do as much work.
Wow.
They rely on the group to be its own business. And you gotta be. The artist has to be its own business.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's layers, bro. Brothers. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
brothers. It's
Yeah.
layers.
Yeah.
It's layers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Gloom and doom,
Yeah.
Prof, yo.
Hey, man, that's the real deal. That's the real deal. That's what we want to hear. That's the real deal. That's
Yeah. Give
talking
it
to
to
the
us
band.
real.
That's what it's about. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
this is not for the faint of heart. Being a musician, you know,
Right.
you got to do for the love of it. You know, you got to really love what you're doing.
You do.
Yeah.
And if there's one more thing I want to add, and I think it is really, really important, is that, you know, as we are coming to this, you know, sort of awareness, this woke moment where we are aware of African-American or Black folks' issues and the world is finally listening, I think it's really time to examine what we do to make sure that we play our part in changing everything. Because I understand that when people say that racism is a white person's problem, I get it,
Yeah.
because it is, but we still have a role to play.
Yes, we
And
do.
our role is to look at what we do. And if I look at the music and I look at some of the images on TV of who we are,
Yeah.
I'm concerned, and we
Yeah.
need to be more concerned. If we still
Good.
doing music with the N-word,
Yeah.
and we killing each other, we glorify it. I mean, we're the
Good.
only race with mainstream music. Hear me?
Good.
Mainstream music that glorifies misogyny, killing each other, calling each other the N-word, and then you want the rest of the world to be sympathetic to what we're going through.
Yeah.
We've got to examine that. Now, I know we've got a lot of issues in the community that have to be fixed, and they are the reasons why so much of the music is the way it is. I'm not going to ignore that. That has to be addressed. Systemic racism and how it's affected Black communities, that's some real stuff. It has to be addressed. But what we can do is we can start looking at the stuff we put out. It's hard for me now after George Floyd to look at a record talking about kill N-word, shoot N-word, da 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 da.
Yeah.
It's kind of rough. It rubs me the wrong way now.
Yeah.
And I know I'm old man in the yard, get off my lawn. But hey, it's not that it ain't real.
Right.
Still don't make it ain't real. It not real. So that's really, I just wanted to say that I think it's important that we start evaluating our own music.
That's
and
beautiful,
the way we
man.
treat
That's
each other.
beautiful.
We do. If we gonna be all this, we got to be this with each other, right?
You better believe it.
Yes.
You better believe
Absolutely.
it. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Where's my mic?
Hey.
Drop it. There you go.
Prof, go ahead.
Man. Well, man, you bring me right to where we want to, try to end up at is just, getting your thoughts. Like, what role should music play, during this time we got Black Lives Matter movement? What role should music play in that, and how could it be most effective?
Right, man. I mean, what is interesting, and it happens pretty much during all times of social unrest. The 60s showed it. We had Curtis Mayfield, Keep On Pushing, and everybody, there's a train a coming. I mean, so we had that era. So now I am starting to see, I'm noticing that there are a few records that are kind of getting through that are talking about substantive issues and talking about what's going on currently. So my hope is that becomes more of a thing and we can have actual mainstream hits like What's Going On.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's beautiful.
That would be beautiful. And hopefully that's what we'll get out of the Trump era.
Yeah.
Is that, people waking up to the degree and saying, okay, yeah, let's, you know, a lot of the way we've been operating for the past 10, 15 years has just been kind of like, you know, we going to get this money, get this money, get this money. So, you know, maybe now we can, coronavirus, as awful as it is, it certainly stopped us in our tracks. Say, we got to look at this. So, yeah, man, I'm really hopeful of that. I think it was an award show this year, and they had two cats. I wish I remember their names. They had some beautiful songs they did. And then this rapper, one of them trap rappers, I can't think, young somebody. It's now, I'm old right now. I'm old right now. He did a record, man. He did a kind of a Black Lives Matter record that was amazing. And I had written him off as just another one of them trap, the part of the problem. But he wrote some lyrics that were so insightful. I was like, whoa, it made me step back. It's like, what? You self-aware? Because that's what I've been asking for this generation. Be more self-aware.
That's
Stop
beautiful.
You the best, you the everything,
That's
you the greatest thing ever made. You know?
Yeah, buddy.
It's a whole world, man. It's a whole world out here. So, man. So I have some hope that some positive music is on the way. More positive music is on the way.
Yeah, you're in the corporate aspect of things now. Is that correct? Dealing with more of the business aspect of music.
Yeah, I mean, I have been doing a little bit of that now. For a minute, for a time, I worked for ASCAP, which is licensing. I did that for a while. I did a little work with EMI on the publishing side. But currently, you know, mine is more of an independent thing, as with most people out here who had kind of taken a step back from the business, because I had to step back. I got in a family, and I really had to focus on making sure everything was good there. So I'm just kind of now recently really stepping my toe back in it the way to some degree as I did before. Like I said, most of my aspirations now, I mean, music is important, and I do want to continue to give some good music, but a lot of my aspirations kind of lie with literature and film and TV. I'm working on some things. I can't really go into those right now for several reasons, but just know that is on the horizon. That's really what I'm looking forward to doing in the future.
Great. Cool. And if you're an artist right now and they're trying to, you know, well, I guess I should ask you, what would you be looking for in an artist today? If you wanted to produce someone, what would you be looking for in that artist?
Well, I'd like somebody who had a natural just drive to be an artist, to really, really be an artist. Like that was that's their intent. Then one, they got to sing. I'm sorry. They got to be able to sing. You know what I mean? You have to sing, but you got to be able to translate a song in a way that people are moved for it. It's got to register here. And then to just have some sort of, I don't know, maybe just some special energy. I mean, the ideal artist would have like that just kind of energy that when they walked in the room, you're like, you somebody, ain't you? You know, I mean, that's ideal, but I would settle at least for somebody who was really talented and really passionate. Those would be my first and main two reasons to work with an artist.
Wow. Great, man.
That's good stuff.
Real good, man. Prof,
I guess
we thank you, man. You've been giving us a lot of great information, man.
Man. I mean, I know the Prof thing, man. I always like start running my mouth, man, about stuff. You know.
Oh man, that's what people want to hear, man. I mean, we in Rockford, Illinois, you know, we want to hear that, man. We want to hear from someone who's been there, you know. Who's done that, you know.
Right, man. I appreciate you cats, man. I appreciate you cats, man. What you're doing is important. I mean, I love this format. I think it's wonderful. I'm looking forward to many more. I know you guys love the music. You really, really do. And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And most importantly, just said, Stephen, you're just genuine cats, man. I could tell that the first time that we got on here. So
Yeah.
I
Thank
appreciate
you, man. Man, we appreciate you. Thank you, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
Man, much love.
Yeah,
Much love, man.
Yeah.
Much love.
absolutely, baby.
Yeah.
Man, Prof. We're honored to have you, and we got to do some more, man. We got to get you back on again.
Yeah.
And some of the artists that you're working with and have worked with, we hope to have them on the show soon.
Yes. Yeah.
That is the plan. We're gonna get some of these cats on, you know, some of my friends. They're gonna lay down some more laws.
Go.
Oh, well, before we go, man, do you stay in touch with the fellas from LoKey? I mean, how often you guys get together, and are you guys doing anything coming up soon?
Absolutely, man. I was just on the phone with Bone this week. What we are looking at, it hasn't been confirmed, but stay tuned, because I actually not tweeted this, but I put it on our Facebook page. We may be doing a live stream in December. In December, the Jazz District in Kansas City has a program where they have a show they do each year, an event rather. And this year, of course, they couldn't do it live due to COVID, so they did a live stream and it went really well. So now they want to do another one at the end of the year that covers Kansas City groups that had some mainstream success. So that's on the table. It kind of leaning towards that. So I'll let y'all know. We can certainly, maybe we can get the fellas on.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
That'd be cool. That'd be real cool.
Yeah.
So so that I'll keep y'all posted.
All right.
For sure. Yeah, we got to get that story.
Yeah,
we got to get that.
Yes,
but
sir.
Man, look, it's been an honor, and we thank you so much.
Yeah.
Cedric, you got anything else to add?
Man, I got to tell everybody, please vote. Please vote. Please vote. Exercise your right to vote. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but please vote. Please vote.
That. Don't vote for Trump.
Yeah.
Hey,
we want to thank everybody, man. Thank you all for listening. We hope you got something out of this show. And Prof, again, thank you so much, man, for being on the show.
Bro.
Peace and love,
sir. Man. Peace and love to you, man. Hey,
Yeah.
We'll talk to you next time on Steve and Cedric talking to the band. Y'all
Yes,
take
sir.
it easy. Later.
Later.